So, all right, back with another, no. All right, we're back. No, I'm back. Okay, back with another update, and I'm going to give, what am I going to give? I like to find something that was really nice and great, that's no longer great, and then make it great again.
Favorite summer food?
Ground beef. Back with another episode of Conversations with Kirk. Here's my midsummer update.
Okay, how's your summer been going so far?
Yeah, actually, it's been a really good summer, and I don't know, how's it been going? We got lots on the go, especially business-wise. Been on a few little short trips.
Okay, great. So I've heard you're back on 75 Hard. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, so 75 Hard is the first phase. So really, I'm running the Live Hard program, which is a year-long program. And 75 Hard is the first 75 days of it, and then it's followed by phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So I'm currently just started phase 2, which is 30-day process of all the 75 Hard tasks. It's going good.
Okay, and why did you decide to take this on again?
Well, the first time I did 75 Hard, I thought that it was going to be like a permanent fix to, mental toughness, discipline, all of those things. And though it did definitely made an impact, and while I was on the program, I was very effective, and I created discipline in that. But what happens is soon after that program ends, after this day 75, and then you start to go back to your old ways, or I start to go back to my old ways and just not being as disciplined. So I think I've realized that it's going to take, it could be a lifelong process, who knows, but what I know is when I'm on the program, I'm super productive. I feel way better, sharper, better energy. And so, yeah, I'm back on.
And are your goals with this more physical, mental, or discipline-based?
I think the main goals are, this mental toughness and discipline that is created throughout the program. That definitely spills over into other areas like physical, mental, but I think that I don't have specific physical goals. Obviously, a byproduct of being in the program is becoming much more physically fit, lower body fat, but that's really not the purpose of the program. The purpose of the program is to be able to do the things that move the needle and move forward in like taking massive action towards goals.
So is maintaining this level of discipline, is it difficult during the summer?
Yeah, so during the summer, obviously there's barbecues, there's just lots of things. The days are long. Like there's a lot of get-togethers, socializing. Because on 75 Hard, it's no alcohol, no cheat meals. So that is definitely difficult. And I think that's, for me, is probably one of the biggest things that I drop off of as soon as I'm off the program is my eating, self-control as far as the eating goes, and that just disappears very quickly.
And what's the diet you've chosen this time around?
So right now my diet is mostly a carnivore diet plus whey protein. Actually meat and fruit. So I do eat fruit. So mainly meat, like I eat a lot of ground beef, eggs, salsa, berries, and protein powder. So that's pretty much my diet right now. I find that on the program, it's almost easier to eat the exact same thing every single day. The other benefit of eating the same thing every day is you feel the same every day. Like there's not these variations in mood because of what you're eating. And so it's very easy to stay consistent if the diet is consistent.
And with this mental toughness, is part of this around, managing being busy versus doing the work that actually matters?
Well, yeah, I mean, busy work is one thing, and I think busy work gets in the way of productive work. So with 75 Hard, the Live Hard program, and then also having the Operator Standard program behind, it forces me to focus on the productive tasks that move me forward rather than, every day we just have busy work. There's things that we need to do, like, brushing your teeth or like menial tasks. Those are not tasks that fall into the Operator Standard or the 75 Hard lifestyle. It's like speaking with a certain number of people, taking a certain amount of listings, selling houses, showing buyers property, meeting with sellers who want to sell. those are things that move the needle in business. And physically, it's like, did you go to the gym? How many steps did you get? And that, so it's not just being busy.
Let's shift gears a bit and go to more of a personal assessment
Okay.
of how things are going. So do you feel that you've created enough time this summer for the things you enjoy?
Well, to be honest, so time as far as the things that I enjoy, I actually enjoy what I do as far as work goes when I'm being productive. I like earning income. I like making money. So I do get fulfillment out of that. So, some people look at it and say, well, why don't you want to, don't you want to take a break or whatnot? I actually get fulfillment out of what it is that I do. So I'm not looking for an escape from my work. But yeah, I've got out golfing a number of times. We've been to the lake a number of times, been out in the Sea-Doos and just spending time with family and barbecues and that. But as far as having a lot of just down idle time, there's been very little of that.
Okay, and is there anything specific that you're going to incorporate into August to ensure that, this summer is fulfilled?
In August. I think August, because I just started this 30 days of phase 2, my days are going to be very full because I'm doing all my tasks of operator standard and plus the 75 hard tasks. So it's like, sometimes it feels like there's not enough hours in the day, but like to squeeze in 2 workouts, separate workouts, and then get all the work done that I need to do, plus, family commitments and whatnot. They're full days, there's no question. But going on a couple-day fishing trip near the end of the month.
Let's now switch gears to more of a real estate update.
Yeah.
So how would you describe the local real estate market at this point in the summer?
When it comes to our local real estate market, there's definitely activity out there. It's not a bad year. People always say, was it a good real estate market or a bad real estate market? And people normally associate a good real estate market with prices going up. So in the sense, have prices gone up? They have not. It's been a challenging market for a lot of sellers. They've been having to adjust their prices down. But it's not a bad market. Buyers are still moving here. Homes are selling. People are coming, and there's always people moving here. We've also got in our market, people pass away. That's just part of our demographic. We've got a lot of older demographic. They don't live forever, so their homes need to be sold. So there's a constant turnover. There's buyers out there that want to buy, but on their terms and at their price. So yeah, it's been a challenge. It's always easier when prices are going up compared to when they're going down. There's no question.
Do you feel that buyers are taking longer to make decisions?
Oh, buyers this year, I'm not going to paint them all with the same brush, but there's a certain percentage of the buyers out there that have had a really hard time with this market. And I say that they're fragile in some ways, where small issues that could come up in a transaction are having big consequences, or they're just causing them to walk away completely. And normally we wouldn't see that. So there's a lot of uncertainty. Buyers are questioning their decisions. And the crazy thing is, 3 to 5 years from now, people who are buying now in this market are going to probably look like geniuses that they were buying at this time. And yet the buyers currently that are in the market right now looking to buy feel like they're making huge mistakes, or not huge mistakes, but they just feel like they're second guessing what it is. And it's crazy that a buyer in a bidding war in a market that's shooting straight up can make quick decisions and feel happy about their decision. But buyers that are buying at what could be the bottom of the market are second guessing and questioning. And that makes absolutely no sense to me of how you could have certainty when you're paying the highest price that anybody's paid. And yet in today's market, when you're actually buying at a discount, you have uncertainty. So I think that buyers need to step back and look at where we actually are in the market. And when the market is crazy, people will always wish for this type of market. But now that we're in this type of market, it's hard for them to make decisions. And so I find that's an odd thing that happens with real estate.
Mm-hmm. And so for you professionally in this market, have you had to change or adjust when dealing with clients?
Definitely. And I think that having experience in and being through different types of markets over the last 25 years, in this current market right now, as an agent and helping people move forward with making decisions, it's kind of about, you have to push and help people move forward towards what it is that they want. and then you have to back off, because if you push too hard, the deal blows up. But if you don't push hard enough, then it never gets started. So there's a balance there, and knowing the limit and move in terms of, and that's why I think a big part of why real estate agents exist is because we're helping people get what they want, helping them move forward. They wouldn't otherwise be able to do so, and then mitigating the risks that can be involved. And so we're not manipulating or forcing people to make decisions, but we're helping them get what they've told us they already want. And on their own, they probably wouldn't be able to do that, or they could get taken advantage of, or could be problems. So yeah, it's like push a little and then back off and push a little bit more, help people move forward, being more understanding, taking more time, but at the same time creating a sense of urgency to get things done when they need to be.
So we're just over the halfway mark of the year, and so do you have some lessons that you've learned this year?
So lessons I've learned this year, I think that for myself, I'm doing a lot more volume of business this year than I did last year, and last year was quite a bit more volume than the year before. And I think the biggest thing for me is that I was overwhelmed when I was doing half as much as I'm doing right now, and I was still managing it. So I think that the lesson to me is that these self-imposed limits that we put on ourselves are just that, self-imposed limits. And having a program like the operator standard and 75 hard and running on those principles, it is much easier to be on a high level of growth and to expand, but it is also being okay with being in that overwhelm. And like that's, there's stress that's involved, but a lot of it is it's creating good problems rather than bad problems.
Okay, great. So we're going to switch gears a bit again, and we're going to get to know you a bit more with a fun game of Would You Rather.
Okay.
All right. So would you rather start working at 5 a.m., so wake up immediately to work at 5, or wake up at 3 a.m., work out, then start working at 5 a.m.?
For me, I think it's important to get in some exercise before I start my day of work. It's like gets rid of that whatever fog or wake up. So to start out, to get up and start work at 5 immediately probably wouldn't work. I would say I'd rather get up at 3 and start work at 5, but that would probably mean I'd have to go to bed at like 6 p.m. because I've realized that getting that minimum 7 hours of sleep, ideally 8, makes a huge difference for my productivity the next day.
Okay. Would you rather spend a free afternoon at the beach or drive somewhere on Vancouver Island you've never been before?
Oh, I drive all day long. I'd be much happier driving somewhere and exploring something new than just laying around on a beach.
Okay. Would you rather sell a luxury waterfront property or a large rural acreage?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Both. I'd say I'd sell both.
Okay.
I'll sell the acreage in the morning and the waterfront in the afternoon.
Would you rather renovate an older home or build a brand new one?
Well, that's a good question, because when it comes to older properties and renovating, what I like to do, I like to find something that was really nice and great that's no longer great and then make it great again. I don't want to take something that was never good and make it better, but I think I can really see potential in older properties to bring them back and make them even better. But when it goes to brand new, the problem with the brand new is with the cost of construction and development and everything, I find that so many people today, they're cutting things out of their property or out of the build that could really make it great. That back in certain times, like there were certain times when people had money and affluence and they were putting these extras in the properties were architecturally designed much nicer and they had the space and the rooms. And you just don't see that as often with the new construction today.
So now we're going to do rapid fire. So quick responses. Okay. Early summer morning or late summer evening?
Early morning.
Beach, lake, or pool?
Lake.
Barbecue or restaurant patio?
Barbecue.
Road trip or flight?
Road trip if it's 4 hours or less. Otherwise, flight.
Favorite summer food?
Ground beef.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
What is one thing you still want to do this summer?
Sell more houses? I'm not sure. I got these big goals. I gotta stay on track. So right now that is my focus. I'm not really focused on just like leisure. though I know there's a time for it, but I don't know. That's a tough one.
Now we're at that time in our episode where we hear some wisdom. So it's Walper wisdom time.
My Walper wisdom for this week is really focused on these self-imposed limits or restrictions that we put on ourselves, that we decide that we're only capable of so much for whatever reason that is. But being in a program that's actually pushed me beyond my comfort zone, well beyond, I've realized that that limit that's self-imposed can be pushed much higher than we ever thought, much higher than I ever thought was possible. So I'm still doing it. I'm just going to keep pushing. My Walper wisdom for this week is just being aware of where we're at in our life is probably more based on a self-imposed limit than reality. So just push yourself, go after it, go get it. That gives you a bit of an update where I'm at so far this year, this summer, what I'm into, what I'm doing. And thanks again for watching. Appreciate it. Reach out if you have any real estate questions. If you need help in the real estate market, I'm here. I'm happy to help, happy to chat. Thanks again for watching.